It's all done. Yes, Brad took before now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to the first of 3 meetings tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove, and at this time we will begin our Board of Sanitation meeting. In lieu of a roll call, I will introduce the participants. To my far right, Ed Bell. To my immediate right, Dan McMillan, our Clerk Treasurer. To my immediate left, Craig Wiley, our City Attorney. And to my far left, Sandra Seward, also a member of this board. Board members, you were presented minutes to the January 22nd meeting. Floor is open for comments or questions.
After going through these, Mayor, I have no problem with them. I see it correct.
No changes or corrections.
Motion to approve as presented.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye and the motion carries. Next on the agenda is approval of claims. We'll begin with the wastewater manual claims. These are claims that do not have to be approved by the board prior to being paid. Tonight, board, you have one page in the amount of $6,984.82. Floor is open for comments.
No comments.
I have none.
Motion to approve wastewater manual claims as presented.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye and the motion carries. Turn to the wastewater regular claims. These are claims that require board approval prior to being paid. Board, tonight you have one page of claims in the amount of $6,492.94. The floor is open for questions or comments.
No comments or questions.
I have none.
Motion to approve the wastewater regular claims as presented.
I'll make said motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye and the motion carries. There's no old business to carry forward from last meeting. Under new business, Brad, if you could come forward for a minute. Can you, did Phil have his report done from January as far as sewer maintenance? Do you know of anything that was relevant that needs to be passed on to the board? I know I want to talk about Parkway.
Yeah, I think, Parkway is a big one, and then the 9th and Fletcher project that's coming up. He did a lot of just sanitary manhole checks. Didn't really see anything that was out of the ordinary. He kind of consistently monitored the St. Francis situation to make sure that flow was still active, and it is. I'm in the process of putting it all together. I was working on it today. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me. But the 9th and Fletcher, Wessler has had a couple of consultants out there to look at it. She said that she would have something to me this week as far as a proposal. I think the first firm that looked at it said there was a possibility that 9th could be shut down for up to 5 days, so it's going to be a pretty significant repair. I think it'll be a good thing for the people that live in that area. Obviously, capacity's choked down at this point. That's going to be opened up once it's done. So it can't do anything but help at this point. But it'll be a pretty significant project that we do.
I agree, and hopefully the people that live on Fletcher between 9th and 4th, once that's done, we'll see some relief when it comes to water. About Parkway Drive.
Yeah, that was a situation, and I know Dan's familiar with this. It's in his neck of the woods there, but, we had showed pictures at the last meeting of the void between the manhole and the pipe, that we had lost a section of pipe. English Excavating did the work. They went in. They did a great job. We posted some pictures online. I believe there's a link on the main page on the city's website under Parkway Sewer Repair, and you can pull that up and look at pictures of what was done. But they put a Fernco fitting on and new section of PVC. It was about 8 feet down. They did it in 1 day, and it's back to normal like it should have been in the first place.
I went down there and looked at it. I was really impressed how clean it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one of those jobs where everything really went right. So That's what you like to see.
Well, hopefully we can do more of these and start rehabbing our system like we should.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? So back to the 9th and the Fletcher.
Uh-huh.
As soon as we get the proposal, how soon can we begin the work?
Well, I think it's just a matter of, we've pretty much already talked about it in advance with Wessler. We know we want to do it. It's something that we've gotten pretty much at the top of our priority list. So I would say, as soon as we make a decision on who to go with, I would say shortly thereafter we would do the project. We were talking today about maybe including some money for some advanced warning, just so that drivers have an understanding that this is coming up. If they've got to alter their route to work or whatever, just gives them an opportunity to make adjustment.
That's a big bus route also.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
another thing, is
bus.
making sure we communicate with the schools.
Thank you.
Can you, very briefly, Brad, brief the board on, at the next meeting, I want to bring that proposal forward from Wessler concerning totes.
Yeah, we had adopted an ordinance last year that was a tote ordinance that dealt with how we would deliver those totes, holding people accountable for using the totes. And in that ordinance was kind of a mandate to the city that we maintain a program that detailed which address had which tote there's a serial number on the front of every tote. And when properties have one or more totes, we're supposed to really keep a database of which property has which tote. That way, if something gets lost or somebody says, I think my neighbor took my tote, it's part of our responsibility to maintain that. It's something that really never got done properly when they initiated the tote program. So something that the mayor and I met with Wessler, and they're going to do that for us. And it will probably take them 2 or 3 weeks to do it. They'll set up a database, and then we'll interact that with our sewer billing system so that those two kind of communicate with each other. And then as we make changes, or if we add a tote to a resident, it goes into that system. And then from here on out, we can keep track of who's got what. And we do get calls occasionally if people call in and say, hey, can you tell me what tote I have? I think I've lost it. I'm not sure where it's at. It might be at my neighbor's. I don't know. And right now, it kind of puts us in a bad situation because we really can't tell them that we have that.
Now, you're going to have the numbers that represent the totes on the sewer bill, represent that address?
Yeah, I think that's our goal. I think for a couple $100, Keystone could have had a box on the sewer bill to where we can put that information on there. And then it also allows, Dan's staff to accurately bill these properties that have multiple totes to make sure we're doing it right. And then that way, if somebody sees on their bill that, hey, this isn't what I have, they can call in then and make an adjustment. So it's something that's, been a long time overdue, I think. So I'm glad to see that we're finally getting on top of that.
That's one of the last links. We've almost completely redone the trash thing, and this is the missing link. So once this gets done, we would have really made some headway in trash and stuff like that. So this is good stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay.
Questions from board members?
No question.
Any comments from board members?
Sounds good.
All right.
Oh, what you got going?
Thanks.
If there's no other comments, I'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make the
Adjourn.
motion. Oh, and I'll second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:08 PM, maybe. We will convene the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the second of 3 meetings this evening. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove. And at this time, we'll convene our Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. In lieu of a roll call, I'll introduce each participant. To my far right, Ed Bell. To my immediate right, Dan McMillan, our Clerk Treasurer. To my immediate left, Craig Wiley, our City Attorney. And to my far left, Sandra Stewart, also a member of this board. Board members, you were presented a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated January the 22nd. At this time, the floor is open for question or comments.
Comments or questions?
No comments? Well written.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Make
I'll
a
make-
motion to approve the
and I'll
minutes as
second.
presented.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Move to approval of claims. Start with the docket for the corporate and manual claims. These are claims that do not require board approval prior to being paid. Tonight, board, you have 7 pages of claims in the amount of $555,397.02. The floor is open for comments or questions.
I reviewed these prior to the meeting, and I have no comments or questions.
I don't either.
Motion to approve the corporate manual claims in the amount of $555,397.02 as presented.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Move to the docket for corporate regular claims. These are claims that require board approval prior to being paid. Board, you have 3 pages of claims in the amount of $51,811.03. The floor is open for questions or comments.
I have none there.
I have no comments or questions.
No comments or questions. I'll ask for a motion to approve the corporate regular claims in the amount of $51,811.03.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. There is no old business to bring forward this evening.
Can I make a correction, please?
Yes.
On old business, I'd like to wish Dan McMillan a happy birthday
Oh, yes.
today.
Thank you.
Was that old?
That's old.
Was that old or
That was
new?
old business.
Okay, we'll proceed to new business. Conflict of interest statement for Lynn Rackaway, and at this time I'll defer to the clerk for presentation.
Okay, Len Reckwood, he's lieutenant with Beech Grove Fire Department. He is also our IT person for the city of Beech Grove and has been for a number of years. He does work for all city departments and take care of the servers, network, and phone systems at a rate of $40 per hour. That's the same rate he used last year. And I would recommend that you approve this, and like I say, it's pretty much standard as what he's done in the past.
I see no problem. He does a fine job.
Motion to approve the uniform conflict of interest disclosure statement for Lynn Rackaway.
I'll make said motion.
And I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved 2-0. I'll go ahead and vote 3. I'll vote, because I can't vote at the council, because we're going to hear this tonight. So amend the minutes to 3.
Okay.
And this will move over to the city council this evening under new business. Chief Swartz, Mark, can you come up and talk to us a little bit about the Parker and the school police officer program? I know I got the annual report, and which was very well done, but the as busy as he is just staggering.
I think all of you know that Mark Parker's been assigned to the school since August as the police officer. It was a selection. A couple officers tried out for it, and he got the position. He is a lot busier than I thought that he would ever be and what he thought he would be. I think he's busier than what the schools thought he would be, especially doing police officer work. They thought they would be able to put him in classrooms to give instructions and to help teachers with like maybe the DARE program or something like that, but his law enforcement duty has almost overwhelmed him. And the school has still been good enough that they also have officers that come in during the lunch program, which most of the time, that's his busiest time. Seems that's when most of the fights are. But that's a program that I'm glad that we're able to go with, and hopefully we'll be able to keep going with it.
The superintendent and I were talking, met the other day about it, and with everything that is going on nationwide with schools, they're going to open up funding for those types of police officers, and we had talked about applying for that to get another police officer. I'm just stunned by the amount of people that he deals with. I think in the annual report, he arrested 19 students,
Sounds about right.
and then his dog did 25 sweeps. And he was talking about it, and it's startling.
And as you know, that not everything creates a report. It's probably half of what could be reported that he deals with and does a lot of counseling that wouldn't generate a report that can correct a lot of problems.
I'm glad the board did it, and when I talked about at the State of the City the other day, I think that's one of the better things that this board did last year.
I agree with that.
Really good.
It's helped the city, the schools, and the police department having an
Yes.
officer there.
Yes. Anything else going on, Chief?
Regular police work. We've not anything that is outstanding that draws any attention other than our normal crime activity going on. Detectives busy, the road's busy.
All right, thank you. Chief Rob, could you step forward, please? Fire department has been very, very busy. I think we'll pass on the accident at the station, but the other stuff that's going on the last 3 or 4 days.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Fire department has been extremely busy in the last few days. Our crews that are working today respond to assist IFD on apartment fire off of Thompson, LaSalle on Friday morning. It was an extensive apartment fire. Our crews did an excellent job helping out there. We had no equipment problems. The temperatures were extremely cold. With the wind chill factor, so they were up against the elements also, and they did an excellent job. I'm very proud to be their chief. On Saturday, our crews again responded to a residence fire, assist IFD. They were first in on Alice Avenue, where they were confronted with a multiple patient scenario. They had one gentleman in cardiac arrest and 3 other patients on scene. They also had the task of facing a good-sized fire at the residence. They were able to multitask with the personnel they had to help achieve their objective till other crews arrived. Very proud of those guys also. Our crews today responded to a fire at 315 North 13th. And this fire was a single-story residence. They arrived with a heavy fire showing from the A side, the front of the structure. The first-in crew that started the initial attack, when they started fighting the fire in the front room, that fire flashed. One of our firefighters received burns from that flashover condition. The gear and air packs that we wear, they are subjected and able to resist high heat. Her protective clothing burnt. We are very fortunate that we did not lose a firefighter today during this flashover conditions. She was transported to Methodist Hospital with second-degree burns on her body. We wish her well and for a speedy recovery. It's just brings a realization of how dangerous our job is and what our guys put themselves through for protection of life and property for the citizens of Beech Grove, and I'm very proud of them and feel very honored to be their fire chief, and have to say commend each and every one of them for the fine job that they do 24 7. So it's just very impressive what these guys do out there on the street. It really is amazing. We've had several crews go up and assist at Pike Township with the recruit class. We have 3 firefighters in that recruit class, and the training is very important. And it's great that these guys are able to get out and help participate in this training class also.
Chief, I want to ditto your comments. I know it's dangerous out there. Any fire you go into, and my prayers go out to her. But you guys do a fantastic job. I personally know that a couple of years ago, when my house caught on fire. So, good job.
Thank you.
I asked this question earlier, but maybe the public would like to know as well. With our old fire equipment, how did all the engines hold up during these fires that we've had over the weekend and today?
They've held up very well. We had some maintenance issues towards the end of December and the first part of January. So we had several large bills come in. But over the last few weeks, over these fires that we did have, they performed well with no maintenance issues during that. This fire today, due to the nature and the extent, the gear that she had on received temperatures over 1,100 degrees. We have asked for Indianapolis Fire Department, asked Chief Bacon come in and do independent investigation, not only of our own SOPs and procedures that we utilize when we fight fires, but they will also take a look and evaluate our personal protective gear that was worn, and also this gear that she had on would have to ship off back to the manufacturer. They will also do some independent testing to make sure that it held up to their standards, and it will also be used for training, so we don't put our guys in a dangerous situation more than they already face.
Chief, I got one other question. How's our hydrants? Have you found any that's frozen or?
No, looking forward to a brief glimpse of warmer weather this weekend. We had a water main issue on 13th Street today, where the water main actually broke. We didn't have any hydrant failure, so that's good news. Citizens was out on 13th Street, and they're fixing and repairing the problem right now.
Well, I understand they tried to test them once a year, right?
Absolutely. And the hydrant testing actually falls to Citizens Water. They are actually responsible to come out and test the hydrants. When we do prevention work in the city, we will actually open up and flow the hydrants in the summer, making sure that the stems work, the valves work, the caps come off. And our guys actually do some of the work for Citizens by lubricating with Vaseline the caps, make sure the threads are good. And we also stay involved with the private hydrants and like the apartment complexes. It is up to the maintenance personnel to go out and open and test those hydrants, but we will also go out and assist them with our equipment to flow those hydrants and make sure they are tested with them, because it's their responsibility to do so.
Yeah, I found out it's pretty important to do a pitot test, because that pressure comes out. If it's not proper, it's not going to help you guys at all.
Absolutely.
So, all right.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we're scheduled to go up and take a final inspection look at our new engine in Appleton, Wisconsin. Due to today's events, Operations Chief Jim Pierce will not be going with us, so he's really bummed out. But he's hate to say it, but he's stuck here with a lot of work.
Who's replacing him? Anybody?
No one yet. I haven't had anyone ask if they want.
Well, just make sure they take you to George's. But anyway, going up to do the final inspection, the truck is done. They have to go and take a look at it, and then once they've signed off on it, then they'll deliver the truck. So,
That's great news.
It is. Thank you.
So, all right, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from board members?
Like you said, those fires are dangerous, and we're glad we have that firefighter, with us today. We can always replace equipment. We cannot replace people. So, a speedy recovery to her.
Yeah, so true. I have none.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:30. We will meet again on Tuesday, February the 19th, 2013, at 6 p.m. Thank you.